Why do I do that face? Part 3, moving on, tips. It's not tips, it's fucking brilliant. However, you do you. My name's Poppy. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist, coach. 30 years practice globally with all different kinds of people. I self-regulate. Let's say someone's upset you in some kind of way, and the ideal thing would be for you to let it go. Move on, get on with your life. Whatever is that's going on with them is going on with them. What do you get to learn would be the question. And again, if we're activated, triggered, stirred, and so on, it's because someone's done something that essentially strikes the chord of fear in us, because we believe fundamentally something they're saying and doing, we believe it, which is why we get upset. If I say to you, your hair's blue, and you just doesn't bother you because you think, whatever, love, you're not going to get triggered by that. However, if you've been gaslit to oblivion about your looks and so on, that might hurt and stir you up. So again, consider something that ideally you'd like to let go because it's staying with you and it's causing you whatever. Anger, upset, frustration. You're feeling wounded, you're feeling alone, you're feeling on the outside, all the things. And or if you have physiological symptoms, as I said before, the body never lies. So we call it somatization in psychotherapy, meaning if we can't speak directly to something, to have our back, to respect the fact that you get to speak to the things that are not okay so that you can make them okay. You, us, we're in control, actually, believe it or not. If we can't assert things, the body will speak for us. Anything from, again, cysts, cancers, headaches, fibro, you name it. So whilst, of course, physically, the body's doing actual things. It's true what's going on in the body. However, the mind is a switching station for the body. Again, take what you want, leave what you don't. So let's say, oh, I feel fear in front of people when I feel I've been taken advantage of, for example, and I can't name it because I've had a history where I can't speak to things because I've been bullied or put down or blackmailed or any of the things, then it may go into anxiety, fear. So I'm suppressing the feeling and then I might get anxious and hives and all the things. The body will speak for you if you cannot. And the degree to which the body is speaking for you is the degree to which, in my view, you've repressed feelings about what is okay and what is not, and you being safe and being able to thrive and be successful at your optimum. Interestingly, we fear success more than death, generally speaking, in our culture. So again, the most brilliant thing you can do for your health, your well-being, and your loved ones is learn how to be direct, generally speaking. And there's a way to do that, if you don't already know, where that's gracious. I tell people to fuck off in many different ways, and they thank me for it, because it's generous in the way that I speak truth to bullshit, basically. I really mean that. So, the triggers are the guides. Okay, let's say there's something's going on. What is it that actually is activating you? If you care about you, to address you and understand you so that you can release yourself, liberate yourself from whatever it is that causes you difficulty and dis-ease, what is the message in the trigger? What's going on? Actually, if you listen, we don't make it about if they change, I'll be fine. Be ideal, wouldn't it? However, life doesn't happen that way. Why are you moved by something? Why is it hurting you, upsetting you? Where do you believe something that they're saying? Some way, shape or form, you will feel undermined, shamed and so on. What is the bell? It's like, in the olden days in the UK, they would have these bells in the main room for the staff, for the kitchen staff. And they'd ring the bell from the lounge or whatever that's called, living room. And the staff in the kitchen would hear the bell. That's essentially what happens when you're getting all ruminating and annoyed in your head because somebody said something and it's triggering historically, transgenerational issues. The fact that you've got, parents who were insecure and so on, it will still trigger you if we haven't learned to deal with it. The greatest thing you can do is speak truth to your life. And I cannot tell you the amount of trauma and difficulty that's caused to children because the parents don't get their shit sorted. And I know that that's kind of, what's that called? inflammatory. However, we get to be inflamed by life. You get to activate your human self to say certain things are not okay. What do you get to do with them? You get to ask yourself, where's the truth here that I actually might believe something they're doing and saying, and you don't feel safe, you go into fear, you go into ego, so you be reactive rather than listening here. Wisdom. So ask yourself, what is it that, anything, you'll be holding on to anything because we do that. What's the fear? And then you might do this, Byron Katie. You may know it, the work. Where you ask yourself, these are all tools for you to have a happy, healthy life. Let's quit, rather, not just you, me too. Hoping that other people will change. They will not. Unless they want to put themselves into analysis or whatever, find themselves a good clinician to help them work through their stuff. They are not going to change. You have the opportunity to do that if you would like to take ownership of your life and plan it out and cultivate it your damn self. Byron Katie's the work. You could look it up. 4 questions and a turnaround. However, for the purposes of now, I'll give it brief. Is it true, that thing you're thinking about? And be kind. And if you're used to manipulating yourself and feeling like you're a victim and nothing can change, i.e. learned helplessness, again, it's personal to me. It will never change. It affects all areas of my life. I absolutely understand. I am honestly lots of trauma over here. However, we can affect change because what you think about is your flipping choice. And then what you feel is in alignment with what you're thinking about. And then what you do is in alignment with what you're thinking about. You're in control of that, my love. Please don't ever think that someone can take that from you. Attitude, your most precious commodity, and nobody can change your attitude. That is a personal choice point at any moment of your day for the rest of your life. Byron Katie, is it true, the thing you're thinking? Do you absolutely know it's true, the thing you're thinking? That's always going to be a no, you don't. We don't know everything, etc. Then, how do you think and how do you behave and what do you do when you believe that thought? And fourthly, what would you be doing, thinking, if it wasn't you were taken up with that thought? And this is the classic, is we worry about the little things so that we don't have to address the bigger things that actually really flipping matter and shape our lives. We get busy with things. It's very creative, in my opinion. However, you're deeper than that. You're way more sophisticated and you're very, very unique and important. And you've got beautiful things to experience and do in this world, even if there's a load of people being shits. So, see you in part 4.